Hey YouTube cosplayers!
Hello there.
So how's everybody doing in quarantine and social isolation? Yeah, I'm okay. Actually, this is great for me. I know it's weird, but I'm an introvert and staying at home in my happy place, just doing the things that I need to do and not feeling like I run out of time every day because I'm at work or because something else like took up my time and I only have like a few hours left after my day job to do all the things that I want to do feels really, really good. I think introverts are loving this time for the most part. And as an artist and cosplayer, I'm also definitely loving the time that I have to work on my stuff. I understand that there are some people who are a little stir crazy who have probably been in self-quarantine a lot longer than I have. My job required me to work right up until just, I think, a week and a half ago. So I'm just getting started in my isolation and quarantine and all of that good stuff. But I understand that sometimes being at home or in the same place for long periods of time can feel probably really isolating. My friends are like, I'm just really stir crazy, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm doing great, woohoo! Right. My poor husband. I thought that I would come on today and just give you some hashtag cosplay quarantine tips for being indoors, and I've got 7 of them for you today. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing that you can do while stuck at home, wash and comb your wigs. So as cosplayers, we've got wigs, and if you're like me, you've got lots and lots of wigs. When we go to con, we wear our wigs, you know, we're in them all day, several hours a day. We sweat in them probably, it's hot, there are a lot of people. We come home, we're tired, or we've got to go to work the next day or get some sleep or whatever, and we kind of toss the wig back up in storage or wherever it goes and forget about it until the next con. Well, a couple of times I've pulled out a wig to wear and gotten a good whiff of it, and I'm like, okay, this is not good. I forgot to wash my wig. So while we don't have anywhere to go, you know, there are no cons because most of them have been postponed, this is a really good time to just kind of go through, wash your wigs with warm soapy water and brush or comb them. If they need straightening or curling or restyling, you can take some time to do that. Throw on some Netflix or Hulu or something like that and just kind of make sure all of your wigs are good to go. That way, when all the quarantine and self-isolation is lifted, you can just pull your wigs out when, you know, con's ready. We're all going to go rushing to all the next cons when this is over, and you can just wear your wig and it'll be good to go. I actually have a video on how to wash and store your wigs. No, I believe how to store your wigs. I'm sorry. I will be having a wig series coming up, and I will be showing you guys how to wash your wigs, more on how to store them because I've got an updated storage routine for my wigs, and also how to care for your actual real hair. Say that 3 times fast. Actual real hair. Oh, I said it. Learn how to care for your real hair under the wigs. And so if you're interested in that, then comment below and I will get started on that series right away, because as cosplayers, I think it's really important that we take care of our wigs so that we don't have to keep replacing them. Also, when we take off the wigs, we don't want our actual hair to be wrecked underneath. So yeah, just take some time, care for your wigs. Let's move on to number 2. So my next one is to wash and freshen up your cosplay. Again, just like the wig, sometimes we come back from con and we throw our stuff in a bag or in the closet or something, and we completely forget to wash or freshen it up until the next con when we're like, oh yeah, I wore this already. Yeah. So definitely a good rule of thumb for after convention is to come back and wash your cosplay, right? Or to freshen it up if it's something that can't be washed. But sometimes we forget and we have to rush to work or rush to sleep or eat or bathe or whatever it is that we have to do, and we kind of just toss our cosplay in the closet or somewhere and forget about it until the next convention. And so this is a really good time, again, while we're all kind of isolated and have nothing to do, to pull out all of your cosplay and check it. Make sure that it's clean. If something can go in the washing machine, then throw it in the washing machine, hang it to dry since it's got plenty of time, and then, you know, even put an iron to it if you can. If it's something like armor or some kind of material that can't be washed, then that's okay. Get you some Febreze or something like that and just kind of spray it or freshen it up. If not, then, you know, a little bit of water in a spray bottle with some kind of freshening agent in it That should help too. I will try to get tips on that as well, but I think sometimes you can put just a little bit of detergent and just kind of spray it from afar just to kind of freshen it up a little bit. You don't want to ruin any fabrics with detergent if it can't have detergent. But if it can, and you just can't run it through the washing machine, then it's a really good idea to just make sure that all your cosplay is clean, is freshened up, and ironed and ready to go. Next, while you're washing and freshening up your cosplay, you may as well fix some things that may have gone wrong. For me, sometimes Velcro just goes all to shatters when I'm wearing it at conventions, and I have to come back and sit down and hand sew or re-stick or re-Velcro something. And so now is a really good time to do that. Figure out which cosplays need to be fixed, need to be touched up, maybe a little bit of paint on some armor, you know, maybe a little piece of armor that needs to be redone. If you got some extra foam laying around, add something to it, but definitely fix up your cosplays, your existing cosplays, and make sure that they're good to go when it's time to go. So number 4 is to play in your makeup. I did a little bit of that today, just getting ready for my video. I was like, oh, I've got some really cool colors here that I like to play around with. And it turns out that you actually can have too much purple on your face, IRL, in real life. But I think on camera, it doesn't look like it's too much. I don't know, you guys tell me, is it overdone? I am not a makeup expert. Let's catch up on that good grammar while we're in isolation too. Oh my God. I am not an expert on makeup, but I do really like to play in makeup in different colors just to kind of test out some things that I might want to wear at con or, you know, out somewhere. I don't go anywhere except to work. Yep. I was already in isolation before the pandemic. You may have a favorite anime character that you've been kind of wanting to play around with and look like. Maybe you want to dress up as someone, casual cosplay, regular cosplay. Well, the day of con is really not the time to experiment with your makeup looks. So this is a really good time to choose a character and say, okay, I think I've got the colors that I need. Even if I don't, let's see if I can mix some colors and just play around in your makeup. Okay, side note, it seems like I'm a lot more into dress up now than I was when I was younger. Like my sister was like, oh, let's play Barbies and dress up. And I was like, no, G.I. Joes and Legos. I am not doing this girly stuff with you. But now that like I do cosplay, I'm just like all into the makeup and the wigs. And now my sister is looking at me like, so now you want to do this? Really? Sometimes makeup just makes you feel good, and I think that we're scared to try new things because we're scared of what people may think. So while you're in your home and isolated and there's no one to judge you, play in all the makeup that you can, wear all the colors that you want to, and then if you really, really like it, take pictures and keep a record of what you use so that you can recreate that look later on. Oh, here's a good one, and I think it's number 5, right? Number 5? I lost count. It's fine. Whatever. Practice your photographing skills, right? So if you've already got your cosplay out and your wigs and you're fixing it and you're making it, like making sure it's good to go, then why not put on a full cosplay, something that you really like? For me, I really want to redo my Raven cosplay because when I wore it originally, I didn't really get any good pictures in it. So now is a really good time to put on that Raven cosplay, put on the Raven wig and the makeup, and then go out in my backyard and snap pictures. If you don't really have a yard or you can't really go outside, that's okay. Find a window and a good time of day for lighting at that window and take some pictures. And then, I mean, if you've got an Instagram or a Twitter account, then you can always share it on social media and it'll be just something new that you can share. So that's also a really good thing to do, is to practice your photography skills, because there's no better person to know poses and how you should look in a photograph than you. So even if you hire a photographer, it's best that you know exactly how to pose as your character so that you know how you're gonna look in front of a camera so that the photographer doesn't have to do all the work and kind of telling you what to do. Plus, I mean, who's to say that you can't set up your own camera and take your own portraits and your own pictures for your cosplay, right? Especially in times like this when we can't really hire a photographer. So yeah, you know, all in all, just practice your photography skills. Get in your cosplay, practice your posing and how you're gonna look, and take pictures of your makeup and your hair, and then post all of it. What I think would be cool is if you decide to do that, you've watched this video and you decide that you want to get dressed in some of your cosplays and take pictures, then please share it on your social media and at me. I will leave all of my information below because I would love to share all of your cosplays on my accounts if you would like for me to. I think that would be really cool. And another thing that goes along with kind of practicing your photography skills is if you've got a computer, then you probably have access to some editing programs. Sometimes you've got editing programs that come with your computer that you can try out and test out. And there are some editing programs that are free to use that you don't have to pay for. I'm going to list those below so that you can go and test them out. Once you take your pictures, then you can, if you're using a regular camera like a Canon or something like that, you can upload it to your computer and then play around with your editing program. If you're taking pictures on your cell phone, then there are editing apps that you can download and you can use, and you can play around with kind of, you know, filters if you like, or different poses, or just like different backgrounds and things like that, and just freshen up some of your old photos. Play around with your editing programs and try to see if you can improve your photographs, and then you can repost them for new material. One of my favorite things to do that I never have time for is to read my comics. I collect comic books and love them, and I've got a bookshelf full of them, and I just never find time to read all the comics that I want to read. My husband and I like to take time in the evenings to read comics, whether it's like web comics that I have on my phone or my actual comic books or trade paperbacks. And so now is a really good time to catch up on all the reading that you've been meaning to do. It doesn't have to be comic books. It can be your latest YA novel. It can be your latest nonfiction or fiction. Whatever you have to read, this is a great time to just catch up on some reading and think about some things, you know, whatever. One of my favorite things to do, I am an introvert and I love being inside. So I've got a lot of favorite things to do. I love writing in my bullet journal. I keep a bullet journal for cosplay and for conventions and for real life, and I just find that it helps me to organize my life and organize like what I'm doing when it comes to the cosplays that I'm working on. So for April, if you guys have been following me on my social media, you know that April is Wolf Month, and Wolf is from the show Kipo on Netflix. If you have run out of things to watch and you have not watched Kipo, please watch Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts. It's so cute. But yeah, back to planning, because that's what we were originally talking about. I keep a bullet journal and I plan my cosplays, and I plan them pretty much from beginning to end. So I know what I'm doing this week and the next week, and I can fit whatever extra time that I have in to work on my cosplays and sewing and things like that. I put it into my bullet journal. A planner or a bullet journal is a good way to jot down those notes in your thoughts so that you can remember little things like techniques and materials that you use to fix a problem and things like that. I am going to probably next week have a new video coming out about planning your cosplay, where I will show you guys my cosplay and convention bullet journal. I hope that you're interested in that because I'm really excited to share that with you. If you have a journal or just some paper laying around that you can keep in a folder or together somewhere, anywhere, then maybe plan your next 3 cosplays. Think about like the 3 characters that you really want to do and that you've been dying to cosplay, and then jot down your ideas for them. Sketch them out. Look, list the materials that you'll probably need for them. Is it something you have here at home or that you're gonna have to order? Are you gonna have to wait until self-isolation is over to get some of these things? What are some casual cosplays that maybe you can plan from things that you have in your closet already? When all of this is over and it's time to get back to our normal life of conventions and sharing our cosplays, then I think you'll find that it'll be a lot easier to figure out exactly what you wanna do and how you're gonna do it. That's all I have for you. I think we've gotten to 7. Oh my god, that's another tip. Clean out your fabric closet or your materials closet. Mine was a mess. I completely cleaned it out. It's so much better now. I'm so in love with my new space. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I sidetrack and interrupt myself. Who does that? Me. I do it. Alright guys, so that's it for me. I'm signing out. Thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you guys next week.